and welcome back to Organic Cardboard. My name is O-Neb, and today I am back in the cockpit over here at the Organic Cardboard Studios, and I am getting ready to play a game of Vindication, and I'm going to be playing this by myself. Whoa! How are we going to do that? Well, there are official solo modes for this game, and boom, there goes the box. And but they're not really a solo game in the sense of like you're not playing against a real Automa, so to speak. You do have a couple game modes that you're playing that aren't really the Vindication as the game is normally played. And so one of the guys online on Board Game Geek, in fact, I'm going to remember his name right now. And that name is Patrick Kerwin. He has been working on a solo Automa version for this game because, well, I don't know, I'm sure he just wanted to do it for his own sake, but they're currently still finishing the campaign for Vestige. It's got about 3 days left on it at the time that I'm recording this video. Maybe I'll have this out before that's over with. And Vestige is basically a reskin of Vindication. There's a little bit of different modules, but it's more or less like you could have thrown those same differences as modules to play Vindication, but it's got a sci-fi theme. But the big thing is that it has a solo Automa, regular, normal kind of opponent to play against. And they actually have a few variants of those that are going to be there, but they'll otherwise act more or less like a regular player and allow you to play the game as it's supposed to be played. And so Patrick went through and actually created a solo Automa. Right now he's on version 1.6 at the time of recording this video, and he's continuing to tweak that and mess with it and make it a little better. And so I just saw that actually last night, and I decided to go ahead and print out his cards. I sleeved them and put them in with some playing cards for the back so I could shuffle them around easily while I was playing. And I tested it out and I enjoyed it. I had a good time. And there's some requests on his post to do a YouTube video, so I figured why not? We'll go ahead and do that here today. So this, this game from 2018 that's had like multiple expansions and iterations, for whatever reason, they never created this solo Automa. So Patrick, thank you for doing your hard work and putting this out here so that we can try it out today. So with that said, I'm going to go over to the board game overview here, and we'll take a look and see what we've got set up, and I'll talk a little bit about this Automa opponent and how he's going to work, more or less. This is kind of a Jamie Stegmaier style Automa opponent, where you've got cards and they've got little icons, and they're pretty easy to follow for the most part. I do have a little bit off cam here, like a whole list of cards that have all of the different rules set out so that I can follow those quickly without having to shuffle through them like I did last night. And then let's see, I'm going to zoom in real quick over to where I've got one of the cards that's going to show all of the different bot actions over here. Basically every turn what we're going to do is we're going to flip over the top card. This is just a placeholder right here. I have the deck on the main overview. But we're going to flip over the top card. We're going to roll the white die. Now we're going to only be using the basic die. We're not going to be using those alternate die on this game. And then from that, it'll tell us where he's wanting to move towards. The card itself will also show, in fact, let me go ahead and pull out one of the cards I'm not going to be using that's going to include the expansion content, because I'm going to be playing the base game here. So this will give us a little bit more of an example. So we'd flip over the top card. This is going to show us where they're wanting to move to, and it's also going to show us either a positive or negative on their speed. So they'll have the base speed of 2 to start out with, and then they'll be gaining more or less depending on what the card is that's drawn. There'll then be a second row here that we'll look at. This one's showing for control. You can't see it very well in the camera, but this little marker right here it's got a little white cube on this spot, and so if he ends up in an orientation like this around 3 different hex tiles that are oriented in this fashion, then he'll put out a cube there if he can. This next row, and these aren't always showing on every one of the cards, but this particular next row is going to say that he wants to grab one of the companions, but he has to be next to one of the ends to do so. And then this one's just showing that he's just going to gain a random extra point. And then there tends to be expansion icons on the bottom. They'll always be marked with this little expansion icon here. I'm not sure exactly. I think this might be from leaders. I can't remember because we're not going to be using that. So going back again against the with the turn order actions, we're going to flip over top card, roll a die, figure out where he's walking to. He's going to visit locations or control depending on what's showing on the green, and then he's going to gain any cards, like I said, and then he's going to perform the bottom action if playing with the associated expansions. And here it's again showing you all the different expansion icons. And then the 5th action that he's always going to try to do is he's going to convert attributes. He wants to gain those proficiencies. He's only going to gain 1 proficiency of each color, but in a 2-player game, or a solo game, I guess is what we're playing, more or less like a 2-player game right now. He's only going to, there's only 1 available anyways, and so he's going to try to gain attributes as fast as possible, and so he'll convert his attributes if he needs to gain one of the better ones, but otherwise he'll just gain whatever else is available for what he has on the board. All right. So back over to the overview here, I'm going to point out some other differences that are going on with the solo opponent. So they do not have a power board. He's just going to have all of his cubes in one pile here. They're not going to augment cubes. So I guess that's one slight difference from playing a normal opponent, but otherwise it doesn't matter. He's still going to take actions more or less like a normal person is. They have a random secret quest here that I don't get to see until the end of the game. And there's a scoring thing that's kind of, it's kind of goofy, where you just roll a die to see whether he gained them or not at the end. And he can potentially gain additional secret quests as well. This is just his journey card. We drew a journey card out just like normal, and we put him on the board in the location that was said where he's supposed to be at. This one was saying that he went to 4, and so he's on the board, and he drew a blue companion. And I have his companions over here. We don't really need to know much about the companions. We're going to be playing this on a standard difficulty level, where he's got a few different difficulty levels. And with the standard, basically they're going to gain 3 points for every companion that they get. They will gain 6 points for every one of the more advanced cards that they would get as well. And it's just a base amount. So nothing else is important for the Automa as far as that's concerned, other than gaining those masteries at the end, depending on how many of any color that they have. And then here I have just the deck of cards I'm going to be drawing from. But otherwise, we put him out like normal. He doesn't, as far as I can tell with the rules, he's not immediately gaining the strength and inspiration and knowledge to begin with. It says that they just gain the associated attributes from their companion. So he's actually just starting with 2 knowledge. But otherwise, that's more or less how it's set up. So I've got the secret quests sitting up here, the pile of them, in case I need to draw any additional ones. Otherwise, we've got our board set up like normal. I started just next to them over here. We've already drawn the tiles for the starting locations. So we've got the shrine, the command post, and the inn is out right now. I drew the red companion. So I've got Iza the Tireless. If there are 3 or more influence on Iza, augment 1 influence to conviction. I gained 2 points when I got that, so I'm right behind him on the track. And then my secret quest here is saying that it's party time, and so I get 2 points if I control an N at the end of the game, and then I'm going to have if I have 4 or more companions in my party at the end of the game, I get an extra 5 points. So I think that's more or less everything set up. I don't think there's anything else to point out at the moment. We're otherwise going to play the game like normal, taking turns. I'll draw a card for him each time, and we'll see what he does. I will be going first because I'm lower in the initiative order. And so now I have to decide what exactly I'm going to do. And the first thing that I really think I'd like to do is I'd like to go move over, and potentially I'll end up upgrading my mount because I'm right next to the command post to start off with. But I'm going to move in over here so I can reveal a couple new hexes while we're at it and see what we can do with them. So we'll pop in right there, and let's grab a couple of tokens out of here. I feel like I always end up being next to a bunch of shrines that I don't need early on in the game. All right, at least there's something else here. There's inspiration. So at this point, I think what I want to do is go ahead and activate my companion over here so that I can get a couple more strength and then upgrade my mount. So why not? Let's go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna do both of those kind of together, and we'll just take my one strength off that I started with instead of putting it on the board and taking it off right away. And we'll go ahead and upgrade that. So now we'll gain 3 points. And I have to think, because the solo opponent does act a little differently, they will just upgrade their mount on their own. They don't have to be right next to the command post to do that. And the only ones that they're going to interact with then are going to be the ones that gain them attributes, or the ones that are going to gain them cards. I've only got 2 command token or 2 conviction tokens right now to be able to take control of these areas. So I'll probably hold off on that for right now. I kind of maybe want to get over to the end on my next turn and see if I can maybe put my command token on it, because I think that's going to help me the most. So let's see what the solo opponent's going to do. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw one of these cards off. I'm going to actually pop it in. Let's pop it in where we can maybe see it on the screen a little bit here. All right. So what they're going to do is we're going to roll the white die and see where it lands. I can use the board for right now. I won't be able to use it for later. So they want to go towards inspiration, and they're going to do it at a -1 speed is what this is saying. So they're only going to move 1 space. Well, they're already butted right up against the inspiration spot right there. So what we're going to do then is we're going to re-roll the die to finish their movement in whatever direction it's saying right here. So now he's going to move up 1 here because he wants to go towards wisdom because we rolled green just then. And then on his activation card, it's saying that he wants to activate what's right below. And so he doesn't have anything directly below him. It would be, he's got 1 up above, 1 to the right, 1 to the left, but he does not have, oh, I'm sorry. No, he does. He does. Actually, I'm looking at my own token here. So yeah, so he wants to activate this one. So he's going to gain 2 inspiration. And then he's, so we're going to take these 2 cubes and they're going to place right there. So that's going to just hang out there for the moment. And then his Automa card here is showing that he's going to gain 2 points. This last one is saying he'd gain a pet, but we're not playing with the pets because I didn't want to complicate this by adding any extra modules in on this first video here. So he's just going to straight up gain 2 points. So he is right with me. I got to make sure I don't get our colors confused too much. Just to remind, I am purple, he is white, or gray if you prefer. Okay, so that is simple, easy enough, all that he's going to do at the moment. So now I gotta think what I want to do. I think I want to probably get over here where I could potentially get another companion. I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, because I could just go ahead and get my inspiration. I could get the couple inspiration here. However, I would have to do that on 2 separate turns if I did that way. So I'm just going to move. I've got 3 movement right now. So I could hop in 1, 2, 3 and reveal these 2, and we'll see what that does. So I'm gonna do that. 1, 2, 3. And I'm actually going to be revealing 3 hexes because I passed this one. Hey, it's another Holy Spire. Holy Spire. All right, here's another N. Yeah, I did that a little wrong anyways. I meant to go right up here, but we'll just keep it as it is. And then there's a ancient tomb. So I know one thing I want to do is I want to control that N because I feel like he may end up using it. So we'll go ahead and pop our conviction token in over there, and we'll move up to, now I have to think about what exactly I want to do as far as gaining a companion. All right, and I think I've chosen here. So one thing before I forgot to leave a influence marker on Izah. And I kind of like Dawn up here. So the yellow companion is Dawn. She gives a strength and a knowledge, and she'll make it so that I only have to trade in 2 for proficiencies. And because I know that the solo opponent likes to go after proficiencies as quickly as possible, that might be worthwhile to have so I can kind of outcompete him. And so I will need to get 1 more inspiration, so I'm going to activate my character and gain the 1 extra inspiration and spend it immediately along with my starting inspiration, and we'll gain Dawn. Okay, so Dawn is in the party, and now we've got 2 in our party, and we do currently control an N. We'll see what happens as far as whether they're going to take it from me or not. So let's draw another companion out for that, and that companion is Tyrann, Spirit Unbroken, and attaining traits costs you a -1 wisdom with this one. So I did gain 2 points with this companion as well. Okay, so let's see what they want to do. So let's pull out the next card. And so they're going to move at their normal movement speed. We're going to roll one of these die up. Here, maybe I can just roll it right here because I know this is going to get full here soon. So man, that inspiration is rolling hot. They want to move back towards inspiration. I don't believe you can go back to these starting locations, if I remember correctly in the game. This is only like the 3rd time I've played, maybe 4th time I've played it. A couple, and it's only been solo. That's only the 2nd time I've played with this solo Automa opponent. So since they can't move there, let's go ahead and re-roll again and see what direction they're going to move. So now they want to move towards strength. So they can go 1, 2, or 1, 2, and we got to kind of see which one's closer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would land in strength this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 could also land right next to strength this way or that way. So we know 1 movement is going to be right here, and then we got to figure out which direction they want to go in either of these 2. So normally they would pick the direction that is either going to reveal tiles, or even more preferentially, they're going to go towards one that wants to that's going to allow them to get cards, whether it's an N or any of the other higher level cards. But there's not one of those, and so I had posted on the Board Game Geek post for this Automa opponent, saying that it made sense to me that you just re-roll the die again and figure out what direction they're going to go in, kind of like you do on the official solo modes. So now I'm going to roll, and it's now towards the knowledge, and so we'll move them this direction right here. And now we'll continue to look at the card that was drawn. And again, you can't see it very well because this is gray with white against it, but they would like to put out a control marker, and they want to put it off. They need to be in this orientation that we're looking at, and I believe I don't really see why you can't. I believe it needs to actually be in that particular orientation. Yes. So for example, here's one of the cards we're not going to be using. and it has the opposite orientation, and we're looking at this on the normal kind of, facing up. So they are actually in this orientation right now, and they're not in this orientation where they have one up and two below. They've got two up and one below. So they're not going to actually control anything as far as I'm aware of how that is, how that's stating that. So the next thing they want to do is they want to gain one of the better cards, but they have to be adjacent to either the Gaping Maw, the Arcane Tower, or the Ancient Tomb, and so they are not currently. So they're not going to do anything pretty much at all. They're just moving, so this is kind of a lame card for them. All right. Now, what I am thinking about is I would like to be ready to use her later. I'm kind of tempted to just go ahead and get 2 inspiration and then move. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah, I kind of think that's what I want to do, and then maybe we'll just reveal a couple more tokens over here. So, so let's do that. The other thing is that I might run into a library, but we'll just save our activation for a moment. I'm going to go ahead and go to the Holy Spire, get a little holier, and get a couple inspiration. Now, what else do I want to do? I want to move. I'm going to move, so I can move 3. 1, 2. I guess I want to have options maybe. We'll see what shows up over here. So this is another command post. And a fort. Okay. So I got to think if I want to try to gain another companion. And I cannot gain another companion anyways because I already visited a location. I'm going to get those terms back and forth, activating and visiting. But I did visit the Holy Spire before I left. And so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to activate Dawn, and I'm going to go ahead and grab this proficiency tile just because it's up there. I think he's probably going to gain the wisdom one because he's already pretty close to getting it. But I can go ahead and gain the yellow proficiency tile because I'm going to put down a red and a blue. Actually, because I'm putting down a blue, I could go ahead and grab the wisdom token because it only costs me 2 now. And now I have to decide, though, do I want that or do I want to save and try to get both? Because I can only get 1 per turn, and I might be able to snag both of them depending on what they gain on their next go here. So, yeah, maybe I'll just go ahead and get 1 and then hopefully get the next one on the next go round. So we'll go ahead and grab the inspiration. Don't forget to put a influence on here, and I had to put an extra influence to even do that action. So we'll gain the yellow proficiency token. Go ahead and get that out of the way. All right. So I've moved, I've visited, I've activated. I could control somewhere. I don't really think I want to, though. Not yet. All right, let's see what they do. So we're going to pull up the next card. All right, so they're going to move at their normal speed. It is yellow, so they're going towards inspiration. And they can move 2. So they've got 2 different directions to move to, but one of them will gain them cards potentially. And they would like to be able to afterwards gain one of the bigger cards, but they're not somewhere where they can do that. So he's just going to go 1. And then we have 2 options. Let's roll the die again. Well, no, we don't have 2 options because he wants to go to the spot that would potentially gain cards, I guess. That's what it says in his rules, even though he can't necessarily gain a card from there at the moment. But he is going to gain 2 strength, it looks like. So we can see that's coming down here. So this section was saying where he wanted to gain the card that he can't, and this one's saying that he's going to gain 2 strength. So he is continuing to get all over on the attributes. Okay, so I think that he's so close again to being able to get wisdom over here. It'll probably take him a couple turns though to do that. And I need to start getting ready to be able to get some stuff out of potential. I think I may go ahead and just purchase. I may just go ahead and purchase this next companion for 2 knowledge, because it's going to allow me to keep getting my knowledge up, and I kind of need options for that. I could activate Dawn again though, and it'll give me 1 more knowledge to start off with at the moment. And then I could go ahead and move over to the Holy Spire, get the 2 inspiration, and get that wisdom proficiency tile before he does. Because those are a big chunk of points if I just leave him alone. And that's the main thing that he's doing with his attributes. So, The other option is I could just go over here and gain the wisdom trait. I would have to do that in 2 separate turns though, because I don't have a way to make 2 inspiration right away. That wisdom trait is creativity, and then you'd gain 2 points every time you make wisdom. So it's quite tempting to want to do that, because and that's each turn though. Each turn I'd be able to do that. Quite tempting to do that. So give me 5 points, and then I could potentially get enough combination to get into wisdom and get the proficiency tile and gain points while I'm doing that. So maybe that wouldn't be a bad route. So if I want to do that, I need to be by this Holy Spire so that I can get the 2 yellows. So I'll do that. I'll get the 2 inspiration, and then I'm not going to convert them just yet though, because I can't go over to the ancient tomb on the same turn. So next thing I'd like to do is I'm quite tempted to just go ahead and activate to gain more strength, but I'm getting very kind of constricted on the amount of influence that I have right now. So what I could do is activate Dawn and not add an extra influence. And that would give me the more knowledge for the next round. Wouldn't be terrible. So if I do that, I'm gonna be completely out to start off with, but I'll get a bunch of cubes back. So let's do that. I'm gonna activate her, and then we'll get 1 strength and 1 wisdom. And I think we're just gonna leave it at that at the moment. Now I could go ahead and just spend this 2. No, I cannot, because I'd have to move another inspiration over. I don't really want to waste my actions. So I think that's all I'm going to do for right now. Now I may go ahead and just put control over here in case he tries to gain from there on the next turn. So let's do that. We'll get 2 points. So now we're at 26. I can almost make this little bamboo skewer work for me. Okay, so let's see what they do. Sorry, I didn't even take off this thing from the last go around, but we'll just leave it up. So they are going to roll. They're going to get -1 speed on this one. They're going back towards inspiration again. I need a new die. Well, I guess it's kind of good for me. So they can't go to inspiration. They need to re-roll again to see which direction. So now they're going to go towards courage. So they're going to go 1 towards courage. They're at a current movement speed of 2. So now they are still not in this orientation to be able to put down a control because they've got 1 above and 2 below. They don't have 2 above and 1 below. So now they would like to gain a card, but they're not going to be next to an N. So now they don't do anything. So this is kind of being somewhat uneventful here, the second go round of the Automa. It kind of makes me wonder if, you know, like we have to choose where their direction is going, and maybe this is a slight critique as we're kind of figuring out this Automa. But it seems like they almost should start going towards the directions that are going to allow them to gain something as well. But they get some pretty powerful actions as they go as well. So I guess it kind of somewhat trades out. But it's very fortunate for me, at least at the moment. All right. So the one of the things I really want to do is I think go over and we want to get that trait. And unfortunately, I won't be able to take advantage of it immediately, but I could as the round goes on. So we'll spend the 2 knowledge and 2 inspiration to make 2 wisdom. So we've got some influence back here, and we'll gain this creativity trait. All right. Now I'm going to gain 2 points each turn that I convert to wisdom. So now I'm kind of in a bind of wanting to make more wisdom right away. All right, the next one's humility, and that is when a player with more honor than you gains honor, augment 1 potential to influence. So it's not really great for me right now. I will gain 5 points though. And this is gonna hit one of the end-game trigger tokens. So I did not mention, let me get this off of here. I did not mention that the end-game triggers that we have. So when one player has 6 or more of any of the higher level attributes, the what is it, courage, the vision, or wisdom, that'll trigger. And then the other one is when all of the coins are taken. Once somebody gets around to what is this 75 points, then that'll be the end-game trigger. So let's pull the next one out. And now it's companions. When one player has acquired 6 or more companions, the next round becomes the final round. Okay. So all I did is I visited the ancient tomb. I've not activated yet. And I kind of want to, oh gosh, I played this a little wrong. I thought I was going to be able to activate into, oh yeah, I can't activate into inspiration because I'll use my main character. So I will do that, and then I'm going to immediately convert a knowledge with it over into wisdom so I can gain 2 more points, because I feel like I need to keep taking advantage of that now that I've got that trait. Okay, so I have not moved yet. I have not moved. And I almost want to get over where I can start getting some tokens back off of my people. So I'm going to move for 3. And I'm going to leave myself over by a shrine, just in case. And then we'll reveal this hex. There's another N. And because I know he's wanting to use those to gain cards, I wish I had another conviction, but I do not. So I'm not going to be able to take advantage of that. All right, let's see what they do here. So let's go ahead and see what the solo opponent does. And so he's going to move again at a -1 speed. So we're going to roll this die up, see what it lands on. So now it's towards wisdom. So he goes up towards wisdom. All right. Now he wants to draw a card, and he has by an N. So he's going to get the yellow card. He does not have to pay for this, so he just picks this up. We don't care about what it says. It's just for his mastery. He's going to gain 3 points just from having a companion. And then his next action here is to just gain 2 more points. So he's going to gain 2 points. So that worked out well for him. So these cards kind of balance themselves out with some of these powerful actions, especially since he doesn't have to spend any of his attributes for that. That's why I'm a little more focused on proficiency tiles. So that's one thing about this solo Automa version here, is that it does force you to have to be very aware of proficiency tiles. Kind of like a lot of solo opponents will tend to make you really focus towards certain goals or end round goals. It's kind of doing a similar thing here. Again, very Jamie Stegmaier-esque. So now we've got to think about what I would like to do. And let me think about that for a moment. Okay, and I thought about that. And what I want to do is I want to get ready to gain this wisdom proficiency tile, and then I'm probably going to forget about the traits after that. So what I'm going to need is inspiration and knowledge. I can probably get knowledge on my next turn, and so I think I'm going to take advantage of the Holy Spire. I still kind of want to be able to potentially go over to the shrine after this. So we'll see how that plays out, but I'm going to go ahead and gain 2 inspiration to start off with. Man, so what I could do is possibly gain it right now, because if I activate Dawn, I'll get a knowledge. I could then, I can't activate my character right after that as well. But I could still activate Dawn if I wanted to, because then that would allow me to get that for only 2. So if I activate Dawn, it's going to take both of those inspiration tokens, one to activate her and one to be able to get the tribute for cheaper. So unfortunately, I think I'm going to take a strength off in order to put a knowledge down. And I'm going to leave the extra strength. That seems really weak to have to do it this way. But I want to kind of save some inspiration, because I need to get ready to go to the shrine, I think, soon, because I need to unlock her. Or I need to just throw her away at this point. But she is pretty helpful for other things. So we're going to do that. We're going to then convert a knowledge and inspiration and our last wisdom, paying that to gain this proficiency tile over here. So we'll gain that up, taking advantage of her, and then possibly we'll throw her away at the end if that's what we need to do. All right, so let's see what the Automa is going to do. I'm going to try to keep taking this screen off that I keep leaving up here, but it's up now, and we are doing the Automa. So now he's really moving very slowly. I'm surprised, because they moved really fast the first time I played. So he's drawing all his really slow cards right now. So he's only moving 1 towards strength. He's pretty much only got one direction to go for that. So he's going to go right here. Now there's no greens here, and then he's not next to an N where he can gain a card. So he really doesn't do anything. I'm gaining all of these like really weak kind of solo cards, it looks like, here so far. So it's kind of an easy start for me. He's going to have all of his really good ones, I guess, later on. All right, so now what I would like to do is I'd really like to unlock all of this stuff on this board over here. So I could go ahead and get 4 of it off by activating my character, going to the shrine, and just clearing those off, which I'm tempted to just do that, because it's going to take me 2 turns if I go here first and then over there. I do have 1 on inspiration currently. Yeah. Do have 1 on inspiration currently, so Yeah, I think we need to go ahead and unlock all of this influence off of her, and I'd like to keep her. I don't really want to throw her away. So I think I'm going to activate my hero here, whatever you want to call it, my guilt-ridden scumbag, and I will gain 1 inspiration, and then I'll spend the 2 inspiration over here to clear off 4 of these. So now we got a little bit more room to do things, and then we'll go ahead and move. I kind of like to move in a way where I'm just going to see as many hexes as I can. So I could unlock 3 of them right now. And I guess the quickest way is maybe to go this way here. I need to kind of think about maybe being over nearby the end though afterwards. So maybe I'll just go ahead and just do the 2, because then it might get me somewhere where I can potentially use the N right afterwards, and then I'll just go searching here a little bit later. All right, so first one is going to be the library. First library on the game, and then the second one is going to be the fort. Another fort, so that's the second fort out. All right, I've moved, I've activated, I have visited, and I'm not doing anything else at the moment. So let's see what the solo is going to do. And still at -1 movement. This is crazy. I was seeing like +2s and +1s before. All right, so he wants to move towards knowledge, and I think this is the most direct path. Otherwise, he has to wrap around to go to it, because this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I guess they're actually technically both the same distance. So he's gonna want to go towards where he can get cards at, and I think it's going to be the same direction either way. So I guess maybe up here. Now I did confer with Patrick just a little bit about this. They want to, so it says in the rules that they want to go where they could gain a card, and if that's not there, I'm assuming they want to go do this thing. So because there's one with a card, it's a little confusing, because I kind of think, well, they're going to gain a card this round, so they do want to be over by a card, so they are going to lose the effect of getting this control once more, because they're not going to be in that orientation. So I believe he's going to go up here. Well, my confusion was that I was thinking like maybe he wants to go somewhere where he can actually gain control. I think that's a rule that needs to be updated, because I think maybe they prioritize the cards, but if cards aren't even an option on their card that they're going for, then they need to probably prioritize these orientations for control. But anyways, so he's not gaining control. He does want to get another yellow companion. We are still going from leftmost icon, and if they already possess that color, which they do, he's going to go to red. So he's going to gain a red companion. He's going to gain 3 points for that. Okay. And he's going to gain 1 additional point just for the heck of it. Okay, cool. So one thing I'll say, just going off of how far the solo opponent is playing, is that it does have a nice flow to it. It's really quick. I really like that. I like that it keeps the action going. It keeps throwing it right back to you and allowing you to do those actions quickly. So there's not a lot of downtime with figuring out that. So that's a big plus to it. There's just a little bit of tweaking that's still going to keep going on, but I'm really enjoying it so far. So it's great. So let's go back over the overview here. Let's see. So what would I really like to do? I would like to be able, I'd love to be able to get Vindicated, but I don't know if it's going to happen this game. I don't know if it's going to happen. It's not super important for me to get Vindicated. I do want to keep gaining these attributes. And I forgot that on that last turn, I did gain 2 points from my trait because I did make wisdom on that go round, and that is a trait, so it's constantly effective. Okay, so let me think for just a moment. Okay, and I have thought a moment, and I think I have a way to actually gain the knowledge proficiency right now. And I want to kind of set myself up to maybe get the vision. And one thing I want to point out too is that one of the monsters that is out is the smoldering fright crawler, and they give you 2 points at the game end, two honor for each of your proficiencies. And so I really maybe want to think about getting to a point of gaining that one by the very end. Yeah, that would be quite nice to obtain. So the way I'm going to get this knowledge proficiency right now is I think I'm going to go to the library, and I'll get to knowledge immediately right now. Now I've got a couple options. I could activate Dawn and lose an influence on her. I'd have to, I'd get a knowledge and I'd get a strength with her. And that would give me the 3 knowledge to gain that. But if I give her yet a second activation right afterwards, then I could just gain it for 2 and still have 1 left back. Then we're kind of getting in the same boat where I'm starting to load her up again. But it wouldn't be terrible because it's leaving me an extra knowledge to potentially start making vision afterwards too and gain those. Though I do need to think about getting the gaping maw out here so I can start getting a monster as well, because I would really like to take advantage of that one with proficiencies if I'm going really hard towards those. So with all that said, oh man, I don't really like the idea of having to keep losing influence from her. I could just activate even my guy without losing any influence, but I want to keep gaining strength. So I am going to activate her at least once to get the knowledge and the strength. Now I could give another influence right now, like I said, and gain that knowledge token. It's probably not a terrible idea to go ahead and do that. And I may still be fighting for control for mastery, because I do have to keep in mind that even though I'm gaining these, they do have a decent amount. They've got one of each of the primary, or whatever you want to call it, the low level attributes cards. So it's getting a little difficult to think about that. And I do also want to gain companions by the end of the game as well. But let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and put the extra influence on her. We'll spend the 2 knowledge and we'll gain this extra proficiency tile. We'll just go ahead and do that and go ahead and get that squared away. So let's see what the solo is going to do. Oh, I'm sorry. I have not even done anything else as far as movement goes. I did activate. I did visit. So I would like to move in a way that's going to reveal a bunch and maybe leave me over by the end. I don't know. I don't know if I need to be over by the end, but no, you know what? We'll just go where we can see 3 new ones. So this will be the first, second, and third. First is the monastery. Second is the other monastery. I feel like that happens all the time in this game. You always get 2 next to each other. And then there's the academy. Okay. Academy's not terrible to be next to. All right. So now we'll see what the solo is going to do. And now they finally are going to do some movement. Let me make sure I have not missed any of the important. Yeah, I don't want to make sure I didn't miss anything on the bottom, because he hasn't upgraded his mount yet either, which is a lot slower than it was the last game as well. All right, so he's going to roll his die up. He's got +2 movement, so he's actually moving for 4 this time. and he wants to move towards vision. So he's pretty much got even directions. It's not going to really matter either whichever direction he goes, because he's going to end up here regardless. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to reveal the library. And now he wants to activate the one that's off to the right. But he doesn't, as far as I'm aware, he does not spend any, he pretty much is, they'd gain the attributes if they're going to one of the attribute gaining spots. He would interact with the academy, but otherwise he's not visiting to gain cards. So actually he isn't gaining anything right there, but he is gaining 2 points just for the heck of it. So let's give him 2 points. And then I got to make sure to keep up with his attributes. He still cannot combine any in a way that's going to gain him one of because as soon as he starts hitting 3s on these, then if he's got 2 sets of 3s, he'll combine them over and just gain one of the better attributes. But otherwise, he'd get one of the small proficiency tokens. All right, so he is done at that point. And what I think I would like to do here is I want to go ahead and I think I'm going to go ahead and snag this vision. If I can do this, what I'll need to do is activate Dawn again. And I'll have to double activate her with 2 influence. That's going to give me a knowledge and a strength again. And then I'm going to spend these 2 to make 2 vision. And gain this proficiency tile as well. And so now I really am definitely going to want to hit that monster by the end. And I haven't moved, I haven't visited yet. I'm certainly tempted. I'm tempted to go to the academy, but I think it would be better if I move myself up. I've got a movement speed of 3. I could get up here and be next to the shrine and the holy spire again, and that would set me up to, well, it'll at least give me the inspiration to get ready to make courage. I know the gaping maw is one of these 2, and I'd kind of, if I want to hit the gaping maw on my next turn, I could do that. I could do that, but I'll have to leave myself over here. I was kind of thinking to keep staying over by the shrine in case I wanted to start getting these tokens back off of her, because that's going to need to happen at some point. Otherwise, I may end up, it's possible I'll end up letting her go by the end of this if she just starts acquiring too much stuff. Yeah, I could set myself up to fight this guy. And then as far as initiative goes, she would actually be the one to go as well. So that's a thought. that's an idea. We may think about letting her potentially face the fates at the with the monster. So let's see what we can do here. We'll move up here, and we'll go to the holy spire, and we'll gain 2 inspiration. Okay. So we've moved, we've activated, we have visited, and we're not doing anything else at the moment. So let's see what they do. So now they're doing their normal movement speed. Just keep making sure I don't forget that bottom thing as well. And they're still not set up to make anything yet. So the normal movement speed, so they're going to move 2 towards strength. It can't be in my section, so there's pretty much only one way to go, and they do want to reveal tokens. So they're going to go down there. It is the Arcane Tower. Okay, so now he wants to activate what's north of him, but there's nothing north that he can hit because he's east, west, and south right now with his locations. So he would like to purchase a card, and he can purchase a relic now. Well, he doesn't purchase them, he just gains them. So he is going to gain that, and he's going to gain 6 points for that. Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. Done. So there's an example of a powerful action randomly finally showing up for him. So yeah, so I think that's him done at that point. Okay, so I think I'm ready to fight that monster. I am going to I'm going to activate Ezaw. If I do that, I have if I activate Ezaw though, then I both have to lose an influence, and I have to both lose an influence, and then I won't be able to gain the full amount of strength if I do that. So I may, unfortunately, just activate my main character here. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to have to do to have the courage to get over to it. Because, yeah, otherwise I'm just kind of losing stuff. I'd almost like to activate Dawn, but then I'd just negate getting knowledge as well, because I'd have to scoot things around. I kind of want to keep them where they're at. So we're going to gain a strength. We're going to move where we know the gaping maw is at, and that's the only direction I can go to get to it. So let's pull that gaping maw out, finally showing up on the board. And we'll spend these 2 inspiration, 2 strength to make the 2 courage to get over there. And now we'll fight this monster, and we do again use the just the base die in this solo version here. So we're going to roll both of those. Okay, she still didn't die, and I gained a vision. Okay, that's I could have used something else, but that's all right. So we gain a vision, and Dawn is a little more tired. So, but the better thing is that we gain this monster, and now we get 6 points. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's currently worth an additional 8 as well at the end of the game. So that's great. So I have activated, I have moved, and I have visited. I think that's all I can do. Let's see what the solo is now going to do, and let's pull a card off. And they are going to be doing good movement again. They're going to move for 4. They are going back towards inspiration, okay? And they're going to move 4, and they want to move somewhere where they can be next to cards. It's pretty much 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's pretty much this direct. I mean, they could go 1, 2, 3, 4 over here and be next to this one for cards. And I think that would be the preferred way to go, because it allows them to do their next activation. I think that's going to be the preferred way, because well, I'm sorry, I'm kind of getting mixed up with where we're at. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3. Let's see, 4. It'd be the same difference to get over to it. So maybe it's going to go this way. 1, 2, 3. This is what you have to do with this. So this Automa at this point could go here, but this would keep it from getting an activation. If they go 1, 2, 3, 4, this would allow them to activate on their next go. So I think that's the preferred direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. They can't activate here because the next, you'll notice the next row here is showing a right hand activation. So they want to gain those attributes, and they also, I'm assuming they prefer to be next to places that have cards, because it's the way the rules are written as is currently. So 1, 2, 3, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe this is the way. This is the way they're going to have to go, because that does the full movement. Leaves them room for activation. Oh, they're still not next to cards though at that point. Jeez. Okay, so they were 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. So if I'm going strictly off of the rules as currently written, 1, 2, 3, 4, they want to be somewhere where they can gain cards, so they're not going to gain that extra inspiration along with it, because there's no way for me to set them up in a way that they're going to get that. So they do actually want to be either next to this one or next to this one. Well, if they go the way that they're going right now, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's the same difference because it's 1, 2, 1, 2 to get over there. So, so I guess at this point, I'm going to put them back just so I don't get confused. And they're going to have to pick either go in this direction or that direction. So let's roll another die to see which way they go. So they're going towards, vision doesn't help because it's right behind us. So they do want to go towards the direction that goes towards courage. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. So it's a little odd the way that works, but I think that's the way you would do it. So they're not going to gain anything else off of that. They are going to gain 2 knowledge, however. So we'll give them 2 knowledge. And they still cannot convert this into something that's going to gain them anything because I did take that proficiency tile ahead of time. So that's good for me. Okay, and so what I think I'm going to do is get, I think I want to just gain inspiration, possibly get ready to remove the influence off of Dawn. In order to do that, I need to get up the Holy Spire and then possibly over to the Shrine on the next go around. It'll also, at the very least, give me more tokens to potentially get more courage to gain the courage proficiency tile as well. So what I think I'm going to do then, I'm so low, I'm probably going to have to lose this vision over here to do kind of what I want to do. Because I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, be over here again. Oh, and one thing I forgot to do too is pull out the next monster card, so we should kind of see what that one's going to be. It is the Crazed Butterfly Smasher, and at the end of the game, gain 1 honor for each one of your companions. That's okay. It's only worth 5 points. I may not go after that one. I could always just top deck cards though too, and things like that. So I moved. I'm going to gain 2 inspiration, I believe. I do kind of want to gain the 2 strength from this as well, though. But I could just gain 3 inspiration by activating my my wretched scumbag here. And then I could just get all of these off on the next go around. It feels like a lot of turns to waste to do all that. I could let her go. I kind of have to think about what direction I'm wanting to go in, because if I want to get ready to gain the strength to get the other proficiency tile, that's another chunk of points at the end as well. Because I'll basically be worth 7 points if I can keep that mastery going. And currently they don't. I mean, it's possible I could go after another monster after this too if they end up gaining the proficiency of courage. So I'm getting so limited because I've not moved any potential over, which is the fun thing about this game, is that you got to kind of figure out whether it's worth it to you to spend the time getting your potential unlocked and missing out on just quick, efficient movements without having that available for you. So I got to think about what's more important, and it's kind of more important to get. I kind of just want to get my influence off of there. So we'll get to inspiration, and I think at this point it's not really benefiting me too well because I'd have to remove the vision, which is okay if I need to do that. But I think I'm just going to activate my main character here in order to get the extra inspiration. So now I've got 3 inspiration. Okay, I think that's my go finished. And let's see what else they do here. So they are going to move at -2 speed. -2, I think they always move at least 1. So they're always going to at least have 1 movement. They are going towards strength again here. So there's only one direction they can go for that. It's going to be right here. And then they want to activate the north region, so they are actually going to gain 2 more knowledge, which is great because it's not really benefiting them. But they do just get a random 3 points. So they are staying neck and neck with me. This is the same way this game kind of was going on the first game I played of it, is that they really do kind of stay neck and neck with you. So that part of the solo is working pretty well to keep them somewhat even with you. Okay, so let's take a look and see then what we want to do next. And we're going to continue on with that plan then, that I had to unlock all of this influence over here. I also want to kind of get ready to get this strength over here for the next go round as well. So let's go 1, 2. We'll keep ourselves by the shrine. We'll go ahead and spend these 3 off of here, 3 inspiration, to then unlock everything that's sitting on Dawn right now. And now I could go ahead and get to strength with Izah. And this is kind of setting me up to get another, to move influence into conviction once I have 3 on Izah. So that's not bad. It's not too important for me to go after the relics right now, so I don't really need the knowledge from Dawn so much. So yeah, I think I'm going to activate Izah and get to more strength for the moment. And we'll see if I can possibly end up snagging that. So I've moved, I've activated, I have visited the shrine. There's nothing else that I'm going to be doing at the moment. So let's see what the solo is going to then do. They are going to be moving at a -1 speed again, so they're only going to be moving for 1. They're really, really moving slowly. And I'm still not missing any tokens on the bottom, so I keep wanting to double check that to make sure that they haven't like gained a horse, gained an extra horse upgrade or whatever. So now they want to go towards vision. Still only one direction to go in, so they're going to go down here. And now they want to activate the bottom location. I'm kind of getting these cards a little high up here. Let's pull this down a bit. They want to go towards the bottom, and they can't do anything with the monastery. But they can gain cards, and they are next to the inn. So they want to gain a blue card. They do have 1 blue card. They've got 1 of all of them, so now they're just going to gain the blue card. It doesn't really state this in the rules. It states like normally if they already have the card, they gain the next one in the order, but I'm assuming then if they have like, if they had like an even number of any of them, they just continue with that order. So now they're at blue, and now that means that they actually still have, they're contending with me on mastery for this card as for the blues as well. So I have to think about maybe getting a blue card by the end. So they're going to just automatically gain 3 points. 1, 2, 3. All right, and that's everything that they're going to do otherwise for right now. So let's take a look and see where we're at. And what I think I want to do then is I think I'm going to go ahead and get ready to just take this other courage tile. I'm not too far away from everything that I need to be at. I can go over to the Holy Spire. And I want to be potentially within range if I wanted to switch routes and go some different directions. But if I go to the Holy Spire right now, I can put 2 on inspiration. I can activate Dawn again, double activate her with a 2nd influence to gain that the ability to gain that proficiency with 2 instead of 3. And then that'll let me convert these 2 into 2 courage and gain that courage as well. So I am just sucking up every proficiency tile in the game here. I've really been focusing on those. So I have moved, I have activated, and I have visited as well. So there's not really too much else I can do at the moment. I did activate her as well, so that would mean that I would have also gained a strength and a knowledge, and I might be able to use those to purchase some people here in a bit. So let's take a look and see what the solo wants to do. And they are going to move at a -1 speed. Once again, they just are stuck on this. They are finally going to upgrade their mount, though. So they want to go to courage. So there's only one way to go to courage. They are now finally in a position to control, and they are going to control this particular hex right here, which is the one then just to the left. It's going to be the fort. So they'll put control over there, and then they're going to gain 2 points. That will unlock the next of the in-game triggers. Let's give them that token. So the next in-game trigger is going to be regions. When one player controls 4 regions more than each other player, the next round becomes the final round. It's probably not going to happen too soon. That's the first one they've got. I've got 2. Okay, so that happened. They're then going to upgrade their mount finally. So now they're going to finally start moving around a little quicker. They're going to gain 3 points for that as well. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's see where we're at. All right, and I do want to go ahead and get ready to gain, I think, this last attribute. In order to do that, well, I've got 2 different directions. I could activate Ezaw, or I could activate Dawn, but I think I want to do Ezaw, because in doing that, I can also move an influence over into conviction, because now she's at 3 or more. And by gaining the 2 strength, I can then spend those right away and gain every single proficiency tile in the game here. And so I think that's worthwhile to do. Now I haven't visited anywhere, I haven't moved yet. And so this is the question, is what do I really want to get? So I could set myself up to gain the, to get ready to gain that blue character, and then just maybe start moving proficiency over to start getting ready, because I'd really like to have 4 companions, and if I focus on companions, I could use that as the in-game trigger as well. I'm kind of thinking to just go ahead and move down to the library, and we'll get 2 more knowledge for right now. Maybe we'll end up spending those off in a moment to unlock some potential. All right, so let's see what the solo is going to do. They are going to move at -1 speed. Their speed is 3 now, so they're going to be able to still move 2. They want to move towards the knowledge. So they've pretty much got a couple directions to go in. They want to be somewhere where they can get cards. And they're also going to want to be somewhere where they can gain control, I think, too, because it's an even direction to be able to gain cards. If they want to be able to gain control, they're not really going to have a direction to gain control in, because it's going to set them up in the same orientation that's opposite of the orientation on their board. So there's no particular direction. I think at this point I'm going to have to roll the white die to see if they're going to go, because they could go 1, 2 or 1, 2, continuing that direction. Either way is even at this point. So let's roll a die. They're going to go towards the one that's closer to wisdom, so they're going to go this direction. All right. Again, cannot gain control, but they can gain a card. So they've got 2 blues. They don't have 2 yellows yet, so now they're going to gain a yellow, and now I'm still ahead in yellow because I do have 1 yellow companion, but let's give them that. They're going to, I'll just tuck, maybe I can tuck that in a way to keep these kind of together, and that'll gain them 3 points. 1, 2, 3, so they're starting to run away with me on the inside game points. And then they're going to just gain an extra 3 points as well, just for the heck of it. All right, so I'm starting to lag behind in that direction. I do have a lot of proficiencies, though, so those have been helping me. Okay, so let's see what we do. Okay, and I think I'm going to pretty much do what I planned to do originally. I'm going to use my scumbag here to go and get 1 more knowledge, and then I'm going to immediately convert knowledge over here. I'm going to just go ahead and convert it all over so that I can pull in 4 more from my potential. And then with my 1 conviction, I'm going to move over here and go ahead and take control of this end and get 2 more points. Okay, let's see what they do. They are moving at 2 speed right now. All right, they want to go towards yellow at 2 speed, and they'd like to get somewhere where they can get cards, but they can't. And they can't go anywhere that's going to allow them to actually get any attributes either. So it's pretty much even either direction, and yeah, neither one's going to give them cards. So so now we're going to roll the die again to see which direction they go. They want to go towards courage then. So 1, 2. They're still going towards inspiration, but they're veering in the direction of courage. They can't gain cards where they're at, so they're just going to hang out there. It's going to be a slow turn for them. All right, I had a slow turn. They had a slow turn. All right, now what I think I want to do is I want to just get myself ready to probably focus on maybe blues at this point. I'm not sure if I'm going to try to get Vindicated or not for this extra chunk of points, but I think I want to get that blue companion. So I need to be making knowledge, and it's probably not bad to just use my character after this to make more knowledge. There's nothing really that I'm wanting to control really bad with the extra conviction. Though, you know, it wouldn't be terrible for me to just go down here, get 2 knowledge, and then activate Eza again and get another conviction over. I could control the arcane tower. Wouldn't be terrible because it's 1 more spot that they might be using to try to gain cards at as well. It's a little far away from them right now, but who knows if they'll get over there or not. And also it's kind of pushing the end game trigger as well, so it's allowing me to kind of control when this game's going to end so they don't keep running away with points. So I'm going to go to the library. We'll get 2 more knowledge. And then, yeah, I think I will go ahead and activate Eza. We'll get 2 more strength. Maybe I'll buy this other red character as well. And that will allow me to push 1 influence over to conviction as well, which then I can place that onto the arcane tower and gain a couple extra points. Might be helpful. Yeah, we'll see. I don't have anything that's giving me anything extra for places that I control right now. But yeah, we'll see what they do. So they are going to move for +2, so now they are moving for 5, and they're going to upgrade their mount again. So now they're finally getting their movement game going. So they do want to go to inspiration, and they're going to move for 5. So they move 1 into inspiration, and now they are going to switch directions. So they're still moving for 4. I'm going to figure out which direction they want to go. And now it's completely opposite. They want to go towards wisdom, and they want to go somewhere, ideally where they can get cards, but I think they would otherwise default back to where they can gain control at. So they could go 1, 2, 3, 4, or you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Either way is going to leave them in a position where they're only 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3 away. So they could go either direction. It's actually either one is going to kind of set them up in the same orientation that's not going to allow them to gain control. So let's re-roll and see exactly which direction they want to go in for this movement. I believe that's how I was doing it, right? Yeah, because they're going to move 4 more, so they're 1, 2, 3, 4, or they could go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So either way is even. They could also wrap around this direction, but either they're going to end up in one of these 2 locations. So let's see. They're going to go towards the one that's closer to the knowledge. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so they're not in orientation to gain control. They do get to upgrade their mount though for free. So that puts them to 4 more points. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and let's see. Yep, everything is otherwise done for them. Okay, and I am going to move 1, 2, I believe. We'll just hang out right there for right now. And I'm going to spend the 2 knowledge to gain this guy. And then I think I'm going to just activate him right away to put the 2 knowledge back. Which means I do need to put an influence token on him. And so I've moved, I've activated, and I've visited. Okay. I think that's what I want to do. I think that's what I want to do. Let's see what they do. They're going to move at -1 speed, so they're going to move at 3. And they want to move towards vision again. So, yeah, either way is not going to set them up for control, so they're really missing out on control, and it really doesn't matter which direction they're going to want to end up at one of these 2 spots. So then we just got to pick a left and right orientation. So they're going to go to the left here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. They don't have orientation for control. They can't collect any cards where they're at. So they don't do anything else. So we'll see where we're at. Okay, and that didn't take too long to think about because right now I could get Vindicated, but I'll have to lose tokens from other places to do this, which kind of stinks, but I think it's probably worthwhile to go ahead and get Vindicated because it's going to unlock a bunch of stuff too while I'm doing all of this. So I'm right next to a monastery. I can activate over here and gone again, and we'll get 2 more wisdom, which I'm going to have to pull from other locations on the board. So those will go in over here, and then we'll immediately spend those at the monastery to go ahead and unlock the rest of my potential, and then that'll allow me to Vindicate because I'm certainly over 25 points at this point. And I will gain an additional 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have not moved yet. It kind of wouldn't be bad for me to be over near where I can collect another character. So now I've got 3 for control of the mastery on blue. I've got 3 for yellow, and I've got 3 for red. So I'm still beating them fairly well at the moment with all of the masteries. So it's kind of like, what colors am I not making? And I don't think when I gained Here and Gone, I got my 2 points for that. So let's go ahead and give me those 2 points. We also didn't refresh this blue character over here. This is Sestra, Lore Keeper. If adjacent to the library, you gain 1 knowledge, which would have been nice earlier. Okay, so let's see. I do want to have at least 1 more companion at the end of all of this. And if I get ready to get a red companion, well, let's just put myself over. I'm kind of thinking about maybe doing the end game trigger soon, because right now I'm at 4 control, and I just need 1 more before they get it to start the end game trigger. So it means I'll have to activate Esau on the next turn. So that means I'll have a couple more yellows. A couple more reds. So let's put myself over here by the Holy Spire. Maybe I'll end up being able to gain that by the end of this. So let's see what they do. They're going to do their full movement speed of 4. So let's see. They're going to go towards knowledge at 4 speed. I don't think it really matters what direction they want to go in. They're going to go somewhere else right after this. I I guess we could follow. This isn't their end, but I'm going to put them closer to the end just because that's a potential spot to gain cards at. And then we'll roll it again. And it's another library, so let's roll it again. And it's backtracking back towards strength. So now they're definitely going to go this direction for one of those. And they could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now they could go either direction. It's going to keep them. They want to go somewhere probably where they can activate because that's their next kind of trigger that's coming up. So they're probably going to want to go down this direction so that they can actually activate because they're going to be activating. Well, they're going to be activating towards the left, so they could actually go. Up here, it looks like, towards the Holy Spire at that point. So, which way do they want to go? Nothing else is going to be triggering. So, I think we have to roll for this next one as well to see if they're going to go up or down. Back towards knowledge. So, they're going to go this way. And then they'll activate and get to more useless knowledge for them. And then they are going to gain 1 courage. Okay. All right. And I believe, the first game, they didn't get nearly this close to running out of cubes, but I believe you're supposed to pull out the black ones if they start running away without having room for more attributes, which doesn't really matter once all of the proficiency tokens are taken. I don't believe they gain anything for those. Okay, so let's go back and see where we're at. Okay, so I think we're going to start this end-game trigger here. I did go first in the round, so that means they'll end up getting 2 more turns, which could be bad because I'm not going to really be probably too set up for much additional gains. Maybe I'll end up gaining another card. Yeah, there's a good chance I'll gain another card, and we can kind of see what they're fighting with me over for that afterwards. So I want to activate Esau because not only is it going to give me a couple strength, but it's going to allow me to move 1 over into conviction, so that I can start the end-game trigger by controlling areas. I will spend the 2 strength back then to gain another card. At this point, I'm just kind of fishing for points. It doesn't really matter because this one's only worth 2. This is Zara. You may split your movement before and or after your other actions, however you wish. Kind of nice. But now I've at least got my 4 companions, and they didn't have to be different colors, so that's good. So I'll get 2 points for that. And now I haven't moved yet, so I kind of want to move down to the Gaping Maw to put control. It's either that or the Academy because they can't activate the Academy. But let's just go ahead and go down to the Gaping Maw, and we'll put control in over there. I'll gain an additional 2 points for that. And that will start the endgame trigger, so they're going to finish this round, and then we're going to get 1 more round, so we're just about there. Let's see what they do. They're going to move at -1 speed. They are going to upgrade again. They're going to move at -1 speed, so they're moving at 3. And they're going to go towards courage. So they've got a couple different directions to go. They go 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, they could go 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. I think this, if they go right here, then that's 1, 2, 3, 4 away. If they go 1, 2, 3 up here, then they could go 1, 2, 3. This is the same difference either way. This one puts them next to a card gaining spot. So I believe that's the way that they're going to want to go, according to the rules. First priority is a card gaining spot. And then now they can actually put control out because they are in the right orientation. So that was the last chance I had to cause the end game to happen. So they move up to, we got yet another end game trigger. That is relics when one or more when one relic more than the number of players has been acquired, becomes the next round as well. Doesn't really matter at this point. They are going to upgrade their mount to their final form here, the big winged bug Pegasus. So they gain an extra 5 points for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So they've gained all of that, and they are done. Let's go and figure out what our last turn is going to be. And it's not going to be anything too special here. I'm just going to go back up to the end. Doesn't matter which one. We'll just go 1, 2, 3. And we want to gain a yellow companion. So I'll activate my vindicated, respectable human being. And I'll spend that inspiration immediately. And we'll go ahead and gain this one because it's worth 3 points. And so she'll go in right there. We'll get 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Doesn't matter, but we'll go ahead and flip over the next card for funsies. And let's see what the final go is of this game. We've got -1 movement, so they're moving at 4 movement speed. I always have to look at those close because these printed, so it's pretty faint. That's why I keep looking at those cards. So let's see, we've got 4 movement towards courage. So they could go 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're going to end up here. It's just whether they end up here or here. So they go 3, and then this is the only one that would give them cards, so I guess they would go down this direction. And now they want to put out control. These are still not in orientation for control. They would like to gain a card, though, so they want to gain a red one. That is the one that they have the least of. And fortunately, I gained one earlier that's going to keep me from losing my mastery. Oh, they got a high point scoring card, but they don't actually gain all those points. They just gain the 3, so that's the balance. 1, 2, 3 of this solo opponent. They do gain an extra point, though, just for fun as well. All right, so that is the game finished. We just have to check for points. So let's do their points first, and then we'll come back to mine. So the secret quest, the way this works, I guess I could have that flipped over because it doesn't matter. They just, what they do is they're going to roll a die for that. So you draw, let's see, their end game. Let me double check where that's at here, because so at the game end, you're going to roll the black die for each quest card that they have, and they only have one. They could have potentially gained additional ones, so we'll roll the black die. So it's a stun, so that means they get both of them. So that's the most common one, is that they've gained both of them. So they're going to gain an additional 7 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, so they gain that, and then otherwise, I believe I have every one of the masteries. I've got 4 on yellow, and they have 2. I've got 3 on green. They don't have any. I've got 3 on blue. They've got 2. I've got 2 on purple, and they've got 1. And then I've got 4 on red, and they've got 2 on red. I guess they didn't have actually 3. They just had 2. So I actually was pretty safe with that regardless. And then oranges, I've got that as well with the 3. So they don't have any masteries. I don't believe that means that they would gain any additional points. Let me double check that real quick so I don't have to think about that on cam. Yeah, and so the only other thing that they gain points for is controlling locations. They have 2 of them, so they'll gain 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so we're ready for our big point jump up here. We kind of pretty handedly whooped them on this one. So we can go ahead and do all of our proficiency, or masteries. We know we get 5 for all of the little ones, and then we get 7 for each of the other ones. So add that all together, and that's 36. points. Did I do that right in my head? 15 plus 21, yep, 36. So we're just going to shoot ahead over here. So there's 1, so 35 from 60 would be 95. So pretty handedly whooped him on this one. And then I do have 5 control as well. So that's another 10. So that'll put me all the way up here to 105. And then I did also have that that one monster that's going to give me an additional 12. So I mean, this is pretty bad win here, and I don't think there's anything else that I had that I can think of. There might have been something I missed. I don't think so. I think that's it. So this state here, we definitely can see that I really took it over on this one. Now the last game I played of this, I ended up getting really close, where we were just like literally like 2 points away from each other. So you can play this out, and you can set up the difficulty level higher. This is my second go, so that's probably why I did so much better. Yeah, and gaining that companion early on that allowed me to gain those proficiencies really quickly, kind of broke a lot of the game for the solo opponent. So I could see bumping this up another level. Once you've gained at least a little experience, you probably play it at least on standard if you're playing it the first time with it. I'm sure this is all going to evolve too. I would imagine if Patrick keeps this going with this solo Automa opponent, it could be really fun. And I'm really hopeful that he'll I know he's asked for permission from Orange Nebula in order to even have that posted. Not that he probably even really needed it, but they're pretty friendly with their community, and so yeah, he had explicit permission to put that out there for everybody to try. And I'm hopeful that they'll take maybe this video if they see it, or just following along with his development on his own on Board Game Geek's posts, which I'll have the links for that in this video, so you can find that really easily. You can also just Google Vindication Solo Automa, and it'll come up right away for you as well. I'm really hopeful that they'll take that to heart with what he's doing, and maybe incorporate either work with him to develop this solo further and actually put it out as a product that we can purchase as an official solo Automa for Vindication, or they'll just kind of get on the ball and start doing it themselves. They seem like really nice people from what I've been watching a lot of videos here lately following the Vestige campaign. They seem like they've got their heart in what they're doing. But man, it's just like why would you not have? This seems like the kind of game that, I'm not saying it's easy to make a solo Automa. It's certainly not something I wanted to take on myself. But for game creators, it seems like an obvious step to throw that in here, and this is certainly showing how something like that could be constructed. So I think this plays really fun. I've really enjoyed this. I'm glad I printed it out and tried it. So thanks again to Patrick for making this. It's fun. He looks like he's put quite a bit of work into it. I didn't even read this little flavor text. He even has flavor text for the opponent. They actually have a name. They call them, what are they? The Twilight Brotherhood. And so it says, working in the shadows, the Twilight Brotherhood Guild is everywhere and yet nowhere. Their dark agents loom in every dark corridor of the island, causing mayhem, stealing treasure, strong-arming monsters to join their ranks, and even stealing pets. Bad form. So it says honorable, hardly. Ominous, no doubt. Good luck, Torchbearer. I should have read that early on in the beginning of the video, but that's a nice little fun touch. It's developing pretty well. There's definitely some things to kind of kink out. I'm not sure how this works with the expansions. I haven't really gotten into much of the expansion content, albeit from a couple little modules and stuff. So that's to be tested. But this is really fun. I really enjoy this. I do think I like this better, playing it in this manner, than playing the solo variant so far. The only thing that is, which is pretty similar again with a lot of official solo Automas, and I said it once earlier, is that it does really put you in a lane to want to really focus on gaining proficiencies, which is again similar to how other solo Automa may make you want to go after like some kind of end game rounds, like think about Wingspan or something like that, or even stuff that goes on in like Scythe, and because this is very much like a Jamie Stegmaier style Automa character that he's created. It puts you in this kind of lane of having to really focus hard in that direction strongly, because if you don't go after those, he will gobble up those proficiency tiles pretty quickly and gain a lot of mastery over you and gain that big bonus of points at the end. So you have to really kind of be focused on those. But it's fun, I do like it. So again, great job. Really appreciate you putting out that solo Automa for us to try out. But anyways, guys, I think this is about all I have to say in this video and to show you. I really just wanted to play Vindication and put out a video playing it, and I thought this would be a fun way to do something different than what people have seen so far. So thank you again so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoy this kind of content. If you do enjoy this kind of content, a couple of those free little clicks on the screen really help support out channels like mine. I appreciate it so much when you do. But as always, do what is right for you. And until next time, I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.